Hey everybody, thanks for clicking on the video. My name is David Pendleton, and today I'm going to cover Ultimate Golf. I'm going to be talking about the exclusive Ultimate Pass tournament that I am competing in right now. We are in the second round. I'm going to show you my rankings and my standings, but more importantly, I'm going to show you how you're able to participate in an event like this because it is really cool, and like I said, it is exclusive. So if you look here where it says Season 11, Live and Let Die, you can click on this field and it's going to take you to your weekly and daily missions. But more importantly, inside this rewards section here, you have the ability to purchase the Ultimate Pass. And when you do that, it opens up 30 tier rewards that you can pick up as the season progresses. You're going to have a lot of premium balls in here. You're going to have head-to-head and tournament tickets available. You're going to get yourself a lot of cash. You're going to pick up a lot of golf bags along the way, which is really important because that's going to help you upgrade your clubs. You're going to get to take more ultimate shots with your purchase of that. You can see here a lot of cash, a ton of bags, some secret rewards, and then at the bottom here, you're also going to get 20 cash for every time that you fill up your point mission bar here at the top. Now, they opened up an exclusive tournament only for people who have actually purchased the pass for the season. And you can see it right here within your tournament field. And I have the exclusive Ultimate Pass tournament opened up. I just shot my second round, and so far I am sitting at the top of the rankings, shot a -11 with 8,636 tiebreaker points. We can take a look at my card here, and then I'm getting ready to dive into all the shots. You can see here that on hole number 18, which is basically hole number 9 on the second round, that I had to have a really good shot in order to take the lead. If we look at the overall rankings, still, sitting up here in first place, which looks good, and we have one round to go, which will be tomorrow. So hopefully we can continue our success there. So let's take a look here at the tournament, and we're going to go ahead and dive into hole number 1 on the second round, which is really hole number 10 of the London Golf Club. You can see here that on the game, you get awesome flyovers before you go through each hole. Kind of just gives you a second to strategize and see if there's any hazards or anything like that that you're going to have to deal with. Now, this one right here is pretty straightforward par 4. You can see here that we're getting nice tailwind. That means that the wind is blowing at your back to the hole. So that's good. In this situation here, I don't like to use a ball that has very high wind resistance because I want my ball really to travel as far as possible here to make my second shot short to pin. Now, the reason that's really important on this game, if you haven't played it yet, I definitely suggest that you check it out. But the tiebreaker points are going to be super important. So the closer you can get to the pin, the more points that you're going to earn. And the only way to earn points is to get to the green in regulation. So with this being a par 4, as long as I land my ball on the green on my second shot, I'm going to get tiebreaker points, in which you're going to see right here. So this one I'm setting up with my short iron. I like to go full backspin on this club when possible. I put a little bit of right side spin on the ball just to counter effect the wind. Now from here, it's kind of just being familiar with the club of choice that you use. You just need to have a good idea of how the ball rolls off the green towards the pin. That's why you see me setting up a little bit short of the hole. Just because on this particular club, the ball can roll a little long on you, depending on your level and the ball that you're using, of course. But you can see here, we get it pretty close. My goal is to, on par 4s, get 800 points or better. That's my goal. So I pick up 796 there. So very, very close to my personal goal. Now we're going to head in to hole number 11, which is hole number 2 in the second round of the tournament here. Everything is in the London Golf Club. This is a really nice course. Now you can see here we do have some higher wind, 7.6 miles per hour. I will be taking this shot with my long iron. I also did it this way, saving my replays so that you don't have to watch me swap my clubs in and out by going back to the main screen. Just going to save a little bit of time and make the replays more fluid. I do choose to use the spider ball here instead of using a premium wind resistance ball. I do try to conserve my really good balls as much as possible until the final rounds of tournaments. So here I'm pretty much using just a normal ball. And we get a nice kick here. And we do land pretty close to the pin. This is going to be nice because we're getting right around that 800 points again at 795. Now we're going to head into a par 5. The par 5s are extremely important because if you can land on the green on your second shot, not only does that give you the opportunity to putt in for an eagle, but you can get massive, massive points by getting there. The most points you can get on a par 4 is 999. So if you were to chip in or for an eagle, you would get 999. Here, if you can land on the green on your second shot, you're going to see how many points you can rack up. So here I'm just stretching my club out to max. On the par 5s, in a tournament, I typically always use a premium ball, regardless of the round, just because, again, I'm trying to get to the green on my second shot. And some of those par 5s can be very challenging to do that. So, you know, really study the course, really take a look at what ball is going to be best for you with power and wind resistance combined. Now here you can see we have 245 yards to the hole. Now this is nice because I do have my wood club and the second bounce already on the green. So at this point, we really just have to visualize how is our ball going to roll out, how much top spin do we need to use, how much side spin do we need to use. You can see here I'm almost at full side spin to the right, and I'm using just a little bit of top spin because what we don't want to do is we don't want the ball to roll too fast onto the green and then get stuck into the fringe or, you know, roll out onto a part of the fairway, because we don't get any points for that. It's most important that we're able to land on the green here on our second shot. Now, if you don't land on the green on your second shot in a par 5, you still have the ability to earn points, because as long as you're on the green, remember in regulation, which is technically 3 shots on a par 5, you're still going to get your points. You can see there that we do, we can fast forward this again, kind of take a look at the rollout because I was talking. As you can see here when I strike my ball, now I did hit a great shot, which is going to lose a little bit of accuracy and a little bit of power on the shot. But here, a great shot, like I said. And you're going to see, though, you know, we're going to take it. I'd like to get greedy and get more points, but a little bit more top spin would have helped get us closer to the pin. But still, at the end of the day, we're picking up nearly 1,500 points, which is just huge. Now we head on to the next hole. This is going to be hole number 4 on the back 9 here. Now you can see this is a par 4, and we do have some water here. We've got some bunkers. Now this is going to be one to where we can say, okay, what do we want to do? If we have the club power with our driver, we could combine that with a premium ball and see if we could potentially try to drive the green. Might be a little bit harder with a little bit of tailwind action, or with a little bit of headwind like we have here. Or we could just take a regular ball, lay up, and then take our shot to the green and our second shot and get as close to the pin as possible. You're going to see me here go pretty aggressive. Now, I don't normally do this too often, but you know what? I wanted to have a little bit of fun. So I'm stretching my club up to see, can I even make it to the green with this club and with this ball? And I think with full overpower that I can. So you're going to see here that I'm going to go with a ton of side spin to the right, and I'm going to go max top spin. Now from here, I know that I have to gamble with a fully overpowered shot, which I do. I put as much right curl on as possible. And then I hit that ultimate shot, which is awesome to hit at full overpower. That means this thing's going to get the distance that you need. Now I did clip, looks like the rough and bounced out, but I still landed on the fairway, leaving myself for a very short shot with my wedge to again try to pick up as many points as possible. I back my wedge up quite a bit. I feel like the ball rolls out pretty well. You know, you have to take a look at your ball guideline, your shot view. And again, it's about trying to use the same clubs as much as you can so that you know how these balls roll off. Here we get pretty darn close. We get a nice roll to pin, picking up 855 points, which, helps make up for, the 5 or the 10 points that I missed on hole 1 or hole 2, because I got in the 790s on both those holes. So there we make it up, and we're off to a really good start in this tournament. Now we head into hole number 14, which is the 5th hole in the second round. Now this one here is a par 4, and it's a little bit tricky of a par 4 in the sense that the fairway, is kind of an odd shape. And the worst thing that we can have happen here, especially when we're off to a great start, would be accidentally driving the rough. Now, I do believe on this hole, if we were to drive the rough, we could still get to the green in 2, but it would be difficult to stick the ball right next to the pin to get maximum points. This is why you see me go with backspin on my drive, because it's most important for me right here that I just land the ball on the fairway. I'm not going to get greedy with my drive and try to get as much distance as possible. This is a situation where you have to be realistic and just make sure that we land on the fairway, and then we let our skill prevail on the second shot to try to get as close to the pin or hopefully in the pin. But you'll see there, right here, that backspin really paid off because I was able to land on the fairway, which was going to leave me here for shot number 2. 7.5 mile per hour headwind, that's pretty strong. But, I didn't really use a premium ball. I went ahead and used the Mojave ball, which is a really good solid ball. I picked up first place in a tournament a few days ago and earned 72 of these balls, so I was really happy about that. Here I have my max backspin on. And again, it's just about trying to get as close to the hole as possible. I really like the Trailblazer club as a long iron. I'm a big player when it comes to backspin. For me, I feel like it gives me the most ball control when I go to shoot. And here, really, again, I'm trying to use that backspin just to get the ball to sit onto the green and, of course, land it as close to the hole as possible. Unfortunately, I fire off a great shot here. But still being only 6 feet away, we pick up 828 points. So we can put that, check mark in the box of getting at least 800 on the par 4. Now, that's going to take us on to our next hole, which is, of course, again, the mighty important par 5 that we have available to us. This one looks like we have a ton of fairway to work with. So, we're not really too concerned about any hazards, right? Now, the fairway is a little narrow, but that's okay. Because as long as we hit an ultimate shot, we'll be pretty good. Here I use the rookie ball, which again picked up quite a few of these in a tournament a few days ago as well. This one has nice wind resistance and it has good power. Now I'll tell you that if you're newer to the game and you haven't played a lot of tournaments, or maybe you've never played any at all, it is, best case scenario to use high wind resistance balls on par 5s, even if, in most cases, okay, not 100% of the time, even if you're getting tailwind on the drive. Now, you might say, if you use a wind resistance ball in tailwind, aren't you going to get less distance on the drive? And that is true. But the thing about it is on the second shot, if you get hit with high headwind because you didn't use a big enough wind resistance ball, you might not have the chance to get your ball to the green in 2, okay? And it also brings me up to a very important point about this game, is that you don't have to use the club in your bag. If you take a look at the top left-hand corner, you're going to see a pause button. If you hit that pause button, it allows you to save your progress, okay? So you could hit your drive, and then you might say, oh man, I wish I had a different wood club to take shot number 2 with, or I wish I had a different long iron to take shot number 2 with. You can save your progress, go to your golf bag, analyze your clubs, and figure out what club you think would be best. Then you can come back to the tournament, and it's going to pick up right where you left off. And guess what? If the club that you thought was going to be best isn't best, you can just save it again and go back and continue to strategize, as there's no shot clock in the tournament as well, which is really cool. I'm a huge fan of how Ultimate Golf has their tournament structures. One, there's no opponents playing with you, so you don't have to wait for any load screens. You don't have to watch anybody else shoot. Secondly, again, you can save your progress and, redo your clubs. The only thing that you can't do is, of course, you can't change the ball in the middle of the hole. So you have to use the ball that you start off with. And there's no shot clock. Having no shot clock really allows you to strategize, which you're going to see comes very important for me when it comes to the final hole. Now, here is the second shot of the par 5. This is a situation to where I switched out to the Viking club because I needed just a little bit more power to make sure I can land this ball on the green in 2. Now, with not having a shot clock, I can really take my time to just really think about how this is going to work out. So you can see here, I'm just trying to figure out, okay, what type of topspin do I need? What type of side spin do I need? I'm already at maximum distance of my wood club. So this is it. I cannot get my ball guideline any closer to the hole. I'm not going to be able to use backspin to get that ball control that I really like to use. So here it's all about visualization. The Viking is not a club that I'm familiar with. I typically use the Apollo or the El Captain if I need a lot of distance and topspin on the second shot. But you know what? At the end of the day, this was a really good shot. Just a little bit more topspin could have got me closer. But you see there nearly 1,700 points on this par 5. So I'm not going to complain. I'm going to chalk that up as a major win and then just head in here to hole number 16, which is essentially hole number 7 in this round. This is going to be a par 4. Now here, I'm going to switch out to a different ball. All right, we'll take a look at the spider ball. Full topspin. We are getting nice tailwind here, so 6 mile per hour wind push. That's going to help us get more distance on our drive. You can see here we have a lot of real estate on the fairway to work with. This one should be okay if we hit a great shot left or right, but I do hit the ultimate shot here with a lot of overpower. So at the end of the day, I'm going to get a lot of distance on this drive with this type of ball, which is nice. Saving premium balls for a different hole. Over 300 yards with this ball is really good. That's going to leave us here for shot number 2. And again, we are getting some tailwind here. So I tried to go with the max backspin approach first, but you can see here that I went from my long iron right down to my short iron. That's one thing you really have to be careful of, is to, whenever you're setting up your shots, make sure that it's the club that you know that you're using. Because sometimes you can start to move your target around on the course and not notice that it switches clubs. Now, the Sniper is a club that I have zero familiarity with. I don't ever use it. I'm not sure how good the ball guideline is or how true that it plays, but it was the only club that I could use from this distance to accurately get my ball onto the green. So here you see I do hit the ultimate shot, which is basically a perfect shot, but this club rolls a little long. So this would be a situation to where I need to back this club up more so that my rollout doesn't go as long. But that's okay. That was my worst shot of the tournament so far because I barely picked up any points there. It was only about 500 something points. That takes us on to our second to last hole. This is hole 17. This is the next par 3. Here we have tailwind again. And you can see here that I'm using my Apollo club, which means I've saved my progress at some point, got out of the tournament, and switched my bag out. So far of the wood clubs that I have unlocked, this is definitely the one that I use most often. Every time I play tour play, I always have the Apollo in the bag. Here we fire off another ultimate shot, but unfortunately, this ball came into the right quite a bit. A little bit confusing as far as that goes. We got the ball to sit very nicely onto the green. So the distance was right, just the accuracy that I made on that shot was off. Now that's going to take us into our final hole. And again, like I said, I needed a really, really good score on this final hole here to have the first spot on the tiebreaker. I had figured that I was going to birdie the hole, but it was going to come down to where, I needed to get over 800 points to make sure that I had secured the #1 spot so far in the tournament. There's still players left to play, but ultimately a -11 with my tiebreaker score is going to be very, very good. So here in this situation, which is why you see me use a premium ball, like I said, I save these balls for par 5s, or I save these balls for when I really, really need to fire off a great shot. Not too concerned about hitting a great ball on the drive here. There was a lot of fairway to work with. My concern came down to, of course, can I get this ball right next to the hole on the second shot? And it was a little bit tricky. I had to really... Oh, hold on a second. Here it is right here. I had to really strategize about this. I switched out what felt like to me a million different clubs. And you're going to see here, ultimately, I elect to go with my short iron. This is a club that I'm pretty familiar with because this is the one that I used in tour play. I love the backspin available on this club, but the backspin, isn't really too important on this particular shot because you can see here my ball guideline is short of pin. Here is all about visualization. How much side spin do I need? Once I hit the ball, is it going to stop on the green? Is it going to roll towards the pin? But like I said, I have a lot of experience with this club, so I felt pretty comfortable that I could at least pick up, that 800 points or so that I needed. I apply a little bit of backspin. As you can see here, I'm really thinking about it. I'm really taking my time. Don't rush. Take your time. Make sure that you have yourself set up for success and do the best that you can. Hit the ultimate shot, so, at least it's going to go where I was aiming and what my brain thought was going to happen. That side spin I put on comes into place. And it's like, oh, come on, get in the hole. But there we go. We pick up 896 points, which was just huge. And again, we go back into the game. You can see here, this is the exclusive Ultimate Pass tournament. Very, very cool. The rewards are awesome. Look at that. We're going to get 15 premium balls if we get first. 30 of those Mojave balls, which is really nice. We will pick ourselves up a really nice bag here as well that has a couple epic club cards in it, and again, a ton of coins. So, I'm hoping to get a top 3 spot. I'm being greedy. I really want first. But it's really cool here because, once we make it to the final round, we're going to be guaranteed at least 9 premium balls and then some other secondary balls to go with that. The best rewards are going to be in the top 5 because you can see there you get the 12 premium plus 27 Mojave. So that's going to be really good. Not too much of a difference in how many balls you get from 5th to 1st place. And you see here that each bag from 5th place on up has 2 epic club cards in it as well. The thing that really increases is just going to be the coins that you get, and then again, the balls. I hope that you found the video enjoyable. If you're new to the channel, I would ask you to hit that subscribe button. If you would like to give this game a try, check out the description below, as it does have my personalized link. If you click that, it'll take you right to the App Store. You download the game for free. And then lastly, hit that thumbs up button before you go. Thanks everybody for watching. I hope you have a great day.